I had a bit of trouble getting this video to upload into full screen on YouTube. This is why it was uploaded and removed a few times. Hopefully this one turns out okay. Thank you. Hi guys, welcome back to Harsh Fishing. I just wanted to do a quick video firstly to say thank you to everyone that's subscribed so far and to show you how I make my version of the up and over dongle rig. I didn't get a chance to last time because it was a last minute decision to go out and target some formbacks. Obviously practicing the filming and stuff like that. So I thought I'd do one now. Before I start, I just want to say that there's not really any right or wrong way to make any type of rig, as long as you've got the basics right. Now, I say this because you go on a beach and there might be two people using the same version of a rig, but they might be completely different. Now, that could be down to the length of it, the components they're using, stuff like that. So it's all about learning how to get the basics and then tweaking it yourself if you want to how you want it. Some of the components I'm using now you might not be able to get, so you might want to use different stuff. I'm going out fishing again tomorrow, chasing the formbacks again, same place as last time. So when I get there and get set up, I'll show you how I bait up the rig as well. Okay, let's go over the components. So obviously a pair of scissors for cutting your line, 6-ounce lead which I'll be using tomorrow, a couple of beads. Obviously you want to make sure you've got a hole going through. You put your line through it. Swivel beads. You can get different versions of these. You can get oval ones and stuff like that. I like using these ones, they're nice and cheap. Twin link. Power swivel. Splashdown clip. I'll explain how that works later. A rig clip. That's going to be part of your up and over section, which connects to your main line. So clip it on. What I normally do is put a swivel on the end of the shock leader and clip it through, so that will sit onto your main line like that, and then your hook length comes up over there, sits on there, and that's where you get the up and over name from. Then we've got some Stinger 3.0 hooks by Cox and Wool. Most people like using circles or chinoo hooks for the dongle rigs. You don't want anything with a long shank. I'll explain why later, but I like using these. The shank isn't too long, they do what they're supposed to, and anytime I've had a lip hooked ray or hound, they're really nicely hooked. They're quite hard to get out, so chances are if the fish hooks itself, you're not going to lose it. Alright, then we've got some 300-pound braided line. This is what you make your dongle section out of. And some 60-pound Rovex 10X line, which is going to be for your rig body. So, first things first, you want to cut a piece of this off. Now, you want it to be about from the end of your fingertips to the inside of your arm. Now, you can make it longer if you want to, or even shorter. If you're fishing rocky areas, obviously, you don't want to use it too long. Ideally, if you're fishing somewhere rough ground, then you probably want to use a pulley rig anyway. But you've got to bear in mind that however long this piece is, the total length of the rig is going to be 3 times that length. You'll see why later. Alright, so then you want to get your genie clip. see through the hole there. Nice long tag end, not too long. Put the line underneath like that, so you've got a little loop. Wrap it around 6 times. Right, now I need to do this little bit off camera because what you need to do is put the tag end in your teeth, pull the main section so it ends up like this. Then you want to lubricate this bit with a bit of saliva. Now what that does by putting the saliva on there is it stops the line from getting too hot when you tighten it up and cinch it. Because the last thing you want is the line to become weak and then it will snap if you get a decent fish on there, or you know, even when you cast, because you're going to lose a whole lot then. Then you just cut the tag end off. Right, now I'm going to put that down for a second, because what I need to do now, or what I like to do, is connect the pulley part which connects your weight. So put that through there, like that. Now what I found with these is if you go in this way, you end up with that there sitting like that where your hooks come out of. So basically your hooks go in there, when it hits the water it releases the clips, releases the hooks, and then sometimes what can happen is the hooks can come out of there and go into there, which obviously you don't want. So what I like to do it the opposite way, so you go in through the bottom like so, and then if the hook obviously comes out and hits there, it's just going to come off like that. I mean, it's not going to get snagged up or anything. Right, so that piece there will look something like that. And then you get this section again, and then put one of your beads through, and then put your pulley system through with your splashdown clip on it. Another bead. Now the reason we use beads is because your weight is going to be on this section. Now if it's slamming about and you know, fish getting hold of it and stuff like that, it can stop the pulley system from hitting your knot and snapping your knots and stuff, you know, just helps protect it a little bit. Then you get your swivel. Alright, same knot as last time. I'm going to do this bit off camera because you should know how to do it by now. Alright, just don't forget to wet it. Alright, cut the tag end off. Okay, and you should end up with something like this. Okay, so you got your rig clip that end, which again goes onto your main line, then the bead, then your pulley with your splashdown clip on, and another bead, and a swivel. Right, now then what you want to do is connect your splashdown clip to your weight. Now, little tip for you, if ever you use these splashdown clips, always make sure that little bit there isn't sitting underneath like this. Okay, because what can happen then is obviously, I mean these are quite tight to be fair on these weights, but some weights top of it is quite big and it can come open and come undone like that, and then you'll end up losing your weight. So always make sure it's clipped down. Okay. Alright, then what you need to do, get another piece of mainline. Now this part is going to be for your hook and your dongle section. So just obviously tie it on there. Again, I'm going to do this bit off camera so it's quicker. Got the tag end off. Okay. Right. Now this is going to be a bit hard to do on camera like this, but what you want to do is you want to have it so you've got a little bit of movement. See that there? So this is obviously the bottom. That's how it's going to sit. Okay. And make sure you've got a little bit of play there. So then you bring your hook section up over the up and over clip and back down and stop it where the splashdown clip is. Okay, so I'm going to snip it off there. So as you can imagine, your hook section is twice as long as the rig body section. Okay, now I do normally make these a little bit longer, but I'm doing it a bit short for the video. So then what you want to do is connect your hook to the hook length. So what we do for the dongle is you want to make what they call a perfection knot. Now these are quite tricky. If it's hard for you to see how I'm doing it on here, then maybe watch someone else's video with better recording equipment. But basically all you do, put it down for a second. Right, you want to get there. Get a tag like that, so put it underneath. The tag comes underneath there like that. Okay. Then you get your hook. Put your hook through like that. Okay, pinch it there. And wrap the tag end over your thumb. Yep, over your thumb, underneath, and then back across the top of the loop like that. And pinch it all down so it can't go anywhere. And then what you want to do is get your hook, pass it through the main big loop at the top, like that, and then pull this loop through. You can see that this loop goes through that loop without letting go of any of this. Obviously, this, you know, you let go of that and you've got to start again. So you pull that through, put it tight like this. Okay, you should end up with something like that. Now you don't really need a loop that big. So what you can do is pull the tag down a bit, just like that, as well as pulling that line. Then it'll make that loop a lot smaller. Okay. So then what you want to do, pull on the main line part of it. It's a bit tighter. Then I like to put the hook into like a pair of scissors or anything like that, and then just give it a nice pull like this. So just be careful you don't slip and, you know, you don't want the hook going through your hand or nothing. But, so it's nice and tight, can't go anywhere. And then snip your tag end off. There you go. So as you can see, plenty of movement. What happens is, obviously your braided line goes onto your hook there, and then that'll sit like that in the water on the floor, and then fish comes along, grabs the bait, which is attached to the dongle section, which I'll show you in a second, and then grabs hold of it, and you've got plenty of movement, so it can swing around, and 9 times out of 10 it will hook itself. Alright, so then you want to get 300-pound braided line, just cut a section off. Then also you've got to tie this bit to the hook, okay? So wrap it around a couple of times, back underneath, just a simple knot. This is only going to hold your bait on anyway. Okay, and we'll pull the tag end, obviously with your teeth. Wet it a little bit. Okay, wrap the hook line around your fingers. Give it a little pull. Okay. Put the tag end in your teeth, but obviously make sure you don't put the hook through your lip. Just to cinch it down nicely. And then cut the tag off of it. My braid can be quite hard to cut with rubbish scissors. Okay. Right, then what you want to do is just put a couple of knots down your line. Okay, because what this does, don't need double knots, just a single, simple, straight through. Do it like that. Got one there, another one a bit further down. Okay, now obviously with this part of the dongle, you want to make it as long as the size of the bait you're using. So if I'm doing hardback crabs on there, I will put like a ring or something round about there. So then you would imagine the size of the crab sitting in there, that's how long it's going to be. Now tomorrow I'm using slightly bigger baits for the raise. So I want it to be a little bit longer, so it's going to be that size. Alright, so once you've decided how big you want your bait and how long you're going to want this dongle section, what you do then is you get one of these, which I actually forgot to show you on camera. I apologise. This is just like a little metal ring, really. Got it from Amazon. They were called split rings, but as you can see, they're not split rings, just a single ring. All you do is same again, like you would when you put the hook on. There's a couple of knots in there. Back through, tie it on. Cut your tag off. So there you go, that's your dongle section. So this ring here obviously will clip into your splashdown clip. I'll show you that in a second. Obviously your bait goes on there. Obviously you bait elastic your bait to this part of it. Now this is why you put a couple of knots in there. It stops the bait from slipping down. And then your hook sitting nice and proud at the top, so the fish comes along, grabs your bait from the bottom, goes to swim off, and then it just literally lip hooks itself 9 times out of 10. Right, I'm going to spin the camera around. I'll show you the full rig. So this rig clip here obviously will connect to your swivel, which is on your shock leader. So you can imagine that's hanging off of your rod. You pull your hook length over the top there, through your up and over clip, and then this, you're going to need 2 hands for this bit, but that will clip into your splashdown clip like that. Okay, and that's how it will sit. Nice and streamlined when you're casting. So show you how it works. So your clip, or your ring, sorry, will go into your splashdown. And it'll be sitting on there like that, obviously, for when you cast out. Now, as soon as it hits the water, this bit here gets released, your clip comes out, and then your hook is released. Now, that will be sitting on the bed like that. Also, your weight's dug in. Tighten up your line. Obviously, that's going to be sitting along there like that. When the fish comes along, obviously, we'll pick up the bait on the dongle, hook itself, and then slides through, and then bang, all tightens up, and then the fish ends up lip hook. There you go, guys. That's the up and over dongle rig, or my version of the up and over dongle rig. As I said at the beginning of the video, there's no real right or wrong way to make a certain type of rig. Obviously, there are things that can go wrong. You know, if you don't do your knots right, or your line is too weak, it can snap or something. You know, you end up losing the fish, or even worse. You know, you could hit someone in the head with your leg when you go to cast or something. So, you know, make sure your knots are right. Other than that, you know, it's all about, you know, learning from other people on YouTube, learning from things that you might try yourself. You know, use different components to see what works for you. That's what fishing's all about. It's all about experimenting and, you know, doing what you do. Something works, carry on doing it. If it doesn't work, try something different. Now, you can use the dongle on the pulley rig as well. If you're not sure how to make a pulley rig, get on YouTube, you know, look up other people's pulley rigs or whatever. Next time I'm out and I'm going to be using a pulley rig, I'll do another video for that as well. Anyway, that's about it from me. Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow when I do some recording. If I catch any fish, obviously I'll post it and get it on YouTube. So thanks for watching. Thanks to the people that have subscribed again, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys.